�fan, Kathleen Wu, and now Eileen Wang. You see a pattern? All of them suspected to be spying for the CCP. We're going to cover this story, which is going to blow your mind away. This is in Arcadia, one of the neighborhoods around LA. I would say it's very close to LA, but within the 30-40 miles. A lot of cities are there in that area, and this is one of those. So here we go. Is Eileen Wang a CCP agent? That's the question that we are asking, because what has happened raises a lot of eyebrows and even more questions. Yawning Mike's son, 64, was arrested on December 9, 2024 for allegedly acting as an illegal agent of the People's Republic of China. Son is a Chinese national residing in Chino Hills, California. Actually, I've driven past this place. When you drive from San Jose to San Diego, you actually go through all these areas. Chino Hills is one such suburb. Son was campaign manager and treasurer for a Southern California political candidate who was elected to the city council in 2022. Based on court records and media reports, this candidate has been identified to be Eileen Wang, a current Arcadia City Council member. It gets worse than that. Federal prosecutors allege that Son conspired with another agent, John Chen, also called Chen Jun, who was previously convicted for similar activities. Son allegedly sought to cultivate pro-China policies, particularly on Taiwan, by influencing local politicians in California. We all know about �fan, right? In fact, that person is continuing to be congressman from Northern California. You know who I'm talking about. What are the charges against Son, who is going to be spending 15 years in prison? Acting as an illegal agent of a foreign government, 10 years maximum sentence. Conspiring to commit an offense against the US, 5-year maximum sentence. All these things, right? You have to do foreign registered agent. There's another one word. I think it's FCRA. I don't know what the C means, but a foreign country registered agent, I think. If you're going to lobby for a country, you need to register yourself with the United States government that you are an approved lobbyist for a country XYZ. What has been happening is they don't do that to make it look like they're just another person, try to blend in and then start carrying out activities. It gets worse, like I said. First of all, 2 people, similar background, similar activities, both in jail. Now, Eileen Wang, elected to the Arcadia City Council in 2022, is identified as Son's fiancé. In a defamation lawsuit deposition, Wang confirmed she was engaged to Son. So this is confirmed in a court of law. The federal complaint refers to politician individual 1, whom Son was allegedly cultivating for future political influence. 2 sources familiar with the investigation confirmed that the individual 1 happens to be Wang. Now, look, these 2 have been owning many businesses, including a media company called the News Center. And it doesn't get better than this. There is a lot of damning evidence here. Whether Eileen Wang also is guilty or not, I think it's getting tighter and tighter. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. It's only a couple of months since her fiancé got arrested. The FBI alleges that Son, working with Chen Jun, that is John Chen also, his name is John. Some of these names, like for example, Sun also goes with Mike Sun, and like that, Chen Jun goes with John Chen, attempting to influence US politicians to support pro-China policies, particularly on Taiwan. We are a little lazy in America, I can tell you. Instead of trying to pronounce the right name, which is Chen Jun, we kind of force them to anglicize their names, so they end up being Beijing Bob or John Chen and so on and so forth. Chen communicated directly with Chinese officials who sought to cultivate relationships with US politicians for long-term influence. Shortly after Wang's election, Chen directed Son to write a report on her campaign for PRC officials. So Chen looks like he's a guy who's a boss. Then he tells Son, you need to write a report on her campaign for PRC officials. Essentially, what happens is whenever PRC officials come to LA area is one of the biggest ports. A lot of business from China lands in LA. So this is a very critical area. And PRC officials have expressed gratitude and saw Wang as a new political star for their influence efforts. In case you're wondering who 𝗏𝗏 had an affair with, is 𝗟𝗡𝗏𝗏𝗏, or I shouldn't say an affair, an alleged affair. But the bigger problem is not just that. 𝗟𝗡𝗏𝗏𝗏 has not said yes or no to sharing some very critical information with the Chinese. When the FBI quizzed him, he did not say yes, he didn't say no either. That usually means that you are trying to somehow fly under the radar. Nancy Pelosi is a big supporter of this person, 𝗟𝗡𝗏𝗏𝗏. I don't know how long it's going to be before the Republicans put up a very strong candidate, a very, very effective communicator who will unseat this fellow. In early 2023, Sun requested an $80,000 budget from the PRC government to support further activities in the US. So this fiancé, Mike's son, is requesting $80,000 budget from the PRC. A lunch meeting was arranged in Rowland Heights with Sun and other individuals, where Chen described Wang as part of a core team working on China-related influence efforts. A US-China Friendship Promotional Association was proposed, with Sun listed as its vice president. All this is happening, but Eileen Wang was not present at that meeting. So they are trying to put some distance between the person who is a city council member and the person who's been identified as being associated with CCP without registering himself as an FCRA. See, what is happening is the prosecutors are saying that even though she did not attend the meeting, she was identified as part of the initiative. The city of Arcadia confirmed Sun's role as Wang's campaign treasurer, but stated that he had no involvement in city decision making. I mean, he's not going to come and sit in the city decision making meetings and say that thou shalt decide this way. He's going to prime the pump before that, right? I mean, I'm just guessing here. Wang spoke to the FBI and has pledged to fully cooperate with federal authorities. Arcadia officials emphasized that the investigation is focused solely on Sun, with no known connection to other council members. All this is part of a bigger effort on part of the Federal Bureau of Investigation to find out how much the CCP and its officials have infiltrated into US politics. I can tell you there will be an Eileen Wang in just about every city council in California where the population exceeds 50,000 or 100,000. 100%, I'm sure of that. There's massive amount of stuff that has happened. A lot of real estate in California is owned by immigrants from China. Some of them could still be holed up in other parts of the world, but they bought property in California because they feel that California property will always keep going up and up and up and up. FBI's Assistant Director, 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗍𝗍, stated that the case reflects China's relentless intelligence and malign influence activities. Sun and Chen allegedly strategized long-term political influence by supporting candidates who could later move into higher offices. Former Walnut City Councilman Joachim Lim noted similar efforts in Australia, Canada, and England, calling it a global strategy. So, if convicted, Sun faces up to 15 years in federal prison, and Wang has not been charged, but the investigation may impact her political career. The case has raised serious concerns about foreign interference in US local elections. Is there more to come after Kathleen Wu and Eileen Wang? Remember, I told you 𝗏𝗏 was the first one, and well, things are getting very interesting. As Trump administration takes office, they are going to crack the whip really hard. Like I said, many city councils, that's where these things start, because it's not that difficult to get in. Well, sometimes you also start from school council. You become a member of the parent-teacher association, you become a part of the school council, then you rise up to city council, then from there you become like a mayor or something like that, and you get the idea. Then maybe a state assembly congressman. You can do these things, one term. If you have somebody who's solidly backing you. Why is money needed? You have to advertise. You have to spread the word out. You have to be in people's face. You have to appear to do something for the good of the society, all that stuff happens. This is where people really need a lot of money, and I'm afraid this has become a trend. It's too easy for other countries to peddle influence in the United States politics. I think the thing is going to start getting reversed. Let's wait and see, but I will keep giving you all these stories. At this point of time, Eileen Wang is not convicted. Remember that the investigation is ongoing. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Namaskar.